Hi, I'm Roger Michaels. Thank you for joining me in my own little kitchen. In Northeast Ohio here, we're in the middle of fall, and that's one of my favorite times, as you'll see from the videos of the market that I work at. We have a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. I'd like to show you just some of the apples that we have and what the differences are. This is a Honeycrisp. It's got a very high sugar content. A lot of people will eat only exclusively Honeycrisp. They're good for eating, baking, applesauce. This one is a Jonagold. It's a cross between a Jonathan apple, which is a very crisp, tart, sweet apple, and a delicious apple. So it's a little bit on the sweeter side, extremely juicy. If you bite into that, you'll see what an apple's supposed to be. Now this is a Mutsu, M-U-T-S-U. It got its name because this variety was developed in Mutsu, Japan. It's a combination of a Crispin, which is a sweet apple, and a Golden Delicious. This is by far my favorite. I recommend this to a lot of people who come into the market. It makes great applesauce, excellent pies, it's very good eating, it's all-round champion. Now this one is a Cortland. Cortlands are very old apples. It's an old variety. What I like about this is that it's not sweet, unlike the others. This one has a very tart flavor to it, and it's very soft. I like to make applesauce out of this because if it's a little bit too tart, you can always add more sugar. And because it's a soft apple, it breaks down very quickly, so it doesn't take very long to make your own applesauce. And if you've never made applesauce from scratch, try it. It's not that difficult. So today I'm going to take a mixture of apples, including these. I'm going to break them down. I'm going to peel them, chop them, put them in a bowl, add spices to it, and this will be put into my crock pot tonight before I go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have the best apple butter you've ever tasted, and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, one of my best and most favorite things to do in the fall is to make homemade apple butter. I buy it in the jars and I'll take a little bit of it, but it usually goes bad before I finish it. I make this, I break it down into little quantities, and I'll eat this all the way through spring. It is that good, it is so simple, and it makes your house smell amazing. So what I have here is 3 pounds, a little over 3 pounds of apples. I've peeled them. The good thing about this recipe is they don't have to be perfect. They can have little blemishes on them. Doesn't make any difference. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when they get blemished, that's often when they're the sweetest and the juiciest. So I'm going to cut these into cubes, throw them right into the crock pot, and then I will add all of the seasonings and mix it up. And I have a variety of apples. I don't like to use just one kind of apple. When I'm making pies or things like this, about the only time I use one kind of apple is if I'm making applesauce, because I like to use Cortlands. Cortlands are a very soft, very tart apple. And by using those, you can make applesauce very quickly, and you can adjust for the tartness or sweetness by adding sugar. A lot of times if you use really sweet apples, you might add too much sugar at the beginning, and then it's way too sweet. So So what I do is I just cut along one side, try to miss the core. So I get, you can call it the cheeks. And then I get the sides. If you have a little piece of skin left, it doesn't make any difference. Now if it's the skin on your finger, you have to start all over. And it doesn't make any difference if it's all cut the same dice or large, some small. It's going to cook overnight anyway, and it's going to be great. Dad joke. Do you know why Washington is buried at Mount Vernon? Because he was dead. If a rooster lays an egg at the peak of a house, which way does the egg roll?
It doesn't. Roosters don't lay eggs. I had nothing but educational toys. So people actually said that to me. They were like, "You had to have nothing but educational toys growing up." I honestly did. Like, I didn't have really like too many silly toys that did make sense.
You must have forgotten a lot of it.
Okay. Your head is just like the apples you're cutting.
I know. You should see me at Easter. Sometimes I want to color my head instead of eggs. I put that little paper band around it.
Oh gosh.
I have a 6.5 or 7 quart crock pot. If you have a 5 quart, that works. If you have anything smaller than that, it might be a little bit too small. As you can see, this fills it up almost halfway. Now in this, I have 2 teaspoons cinnamon, 1 teaspoon nutmeg, a half teaspoon allspice, a half teaspoon cloves, a half teaspoon powdered ginger, and I will add that in. In this one I have just a dash of salt. You can hardly see it, but you want maybe about, at most, a 1/4 teaspoon. This is 1 cup of sugar. And this is 3/4 of a cup of apple cider. If you don't have apple cider, you can add water, you can add apple juice, but you need some kind of liquid in there. And again, 3/4 of a cup. Let me get something to mix this with. I want to mix that goodness around. And then what you do before you go to bed, you turn this on low. and it'll cook while you're sleeping. And about 8 hours later, it'll be the most beautiful apple butter you've ever had. And in the next episode, I'll show you the results. Have a good night. Hi, this is Roger from My Own Little Kitchen. If you remember, I was making overnight apple butter. I put all the ingredients in the slow cooker overnight, and when I woke up this morning, this kitchen smelled wonderful. So, after approximately 10 hours on low, this is the consistency that we got. You can see it's almost like a jelly. If you wanted to, you can put this in a blender to make it finer, but I like it on the chunky side. What I did this morning when I got up, there were still a few little pieces that were square cut. I just took the spoon and stirred it, and it broke down perfectly. So, I'm going to take some of this and put it on 2 pieces of bread. As you can see how easily that's spread. And I can't tell you how wonderful this smells. So I'm going to have one now, and then I'll pass this to my producer so he doesn't kill me. And by the way, this is fresh baked Italian bread that I got at a local bakery this morning, right out of the oven. Delicious. Thank you for joining me at My Own Little Kitchen. This is Roger Michaels. Until next time.